You know what they say about dream monsters that have really big noses? A well-endowed penis. Released in 2019 and is directed by Jamin Winans, who is also behind such films like 11:59 and The Frame. And this film is starring Christopher Soren Kelly, Quinn Hunchar, Jessica Duffy, Jennifer Bader, Jeremy Make, Shannon Steele, Ime Okwakar, Shelby Malone, Steve Seeley, Kathy Cagney, and Marty Lindsay. And the reason why we're talking about Ink today is because it was a PayPal recommendation and a donation from one of my biggest supporters on this channel. She comes through every single month and gives me the most random recommendations and films that I have never even heard of, and this week she sent me two recommendations, both from this same director, Jamin Winans, so we'll be talking about The Frame later on this week, but she wanted me to take a look at an earlier work of his and then look and see what he does with the bigger budget. And if this is what he does with barely anything, I believe the budget for this film was $250,000, so literally nothing. If this is what he does with that, I can't wait until later this week when I check out The Frame when he actually has a bigger budget, because holy crap, this movie is like the definition of art to me. This is amazing. So if anyone else out there also wants to help contribute and support this channel, you can be like Autumn Blood and hit the donate button on the main page of my YouTube channel. Any size donation will do. And if you have a movie that you really want me to watch and review and give you a shout out on the channel for, you can attach your movie with your donation, and if I have access to it, I will watch, review it, and publish my review of it as quickly as I possibly can. When we dream, we are visited by two supernatural beings. We have the storytellers that give us beautiful dreams, and we have the incubi who give us nightmares. But on this night, a dream monster by the name of Ink steals the consciousness of a young little girl so that he can bring her forth to the mass assembly of all the incubi so he can be saved. But the storytellers are doing everything they possibly can to save this little girl, so they reach out to her estranged father's consciousness to have him review his history and hopefully rekindle his love with his daughter, which will end up saving her. And like I said, I had never heard of this film before, I've never heard of this director before, and this is the definition of an indie film. There is no budget at all. The quality of the camera that is used here, it's not, state of the art. There's a lot of exposure or overexposure when it comes to lighting, which I think was the stylistic design or concept behind the difference between the real world and the dream world in this movie, which actually looked really cool. But the big thing that stands out to me right away about this film is the director's style. He does not spoon feed anything to the audience. He treats the audience like they're intelligent, and I love that. I love being told I'm smart, because once the film begins and up to like the 30-minute mark, we are given really nothing as to what is happening in this world or why it's happening. We're not given any exposition as to who the characters are, what the rules of this dream world are, but the way the story is told and the editing of this story, it makes me feel like I'm following it perfectly, even though I really have no idea how things work or what exactly is going on. All I know is that the director knows exactly what he wants and what he is doing on an indie scale level, and I freaking love that. And how he is able to manage us falling in love with these characters and getting invested into the story is tapping into these universal themes of love or begotten love, the drive to want to be successful, and the choice that you have between being successful and focusing on your family. Those are all universal themes that all of us go through. So even though at times I really have no idea what's going on or who these people are, I know who these people are because I've been in a lot of these situations, so I go along with it. And these are all independent actors I've never heard of before, I haven't seen in anything else, but Chris Kelly, who plays John Sullivan, who is the father, he is the Wall Street advertisement dude who's always focusing on the next big client and is trying to wrap them in and doesn't have any time for his daughter. I think he does a tremendous job here. He has a fantastic voice. I want to listen to him do some ASMR or do an audiobook because his diction is so... It's just... I can't explain it. It's just really, really nice. It's like he can put me to sleep and make me dream. And also Jeremy Make, who plays Jacob, who is a pathfinder in the storyteller dream world. And I guess he's blind, and you know that because they have little electric tape over his eyes in the form of an X, symbolizing that, hey, You know, this is like an Oedipus Rex situation, and he's blind, except, you know, with the whole killing your father and marrying your mother thing, so forget that analogy, that doesn't make any sense. But he was shockingly hilarious here, and the way he's able to explain the flow and the beat and the rhythm of how things work in the world, I freaking love this movie. And on top of the beats and the rhythm of the world, adding to this world and adding to this story is this amazing soundtrack that is also by Jamin Winans, who I'm getting the sense can really do anything, because he is an amazing storyteller. Like, am I with my dream sense right now? Is he just like a storyteller and he's putting me to sleep, or he's comforting me with a beautiful dream right now? Because if that's the case, then keep me dreaming, because this movie was fantastic. The only thing I kept circling back to was that this stuff is happening to this little girl, and they're going through this journey of this father trying to rekindle his love for his daughter and trying to reconnect him with his daughter and trying to show him the error of his ways. Very Charles Dickens-like, which is a great story, and this movie is a great story. But I'm lacking a little bit of the why reasoning for why this is happening to these particular people. The girl's conscience gets kidnapped by this monster, Ink, and Ink takes her to the assembly to try to save himself. Like, okay, but why does it have to be this girl, and why does this whole thing need to focus on saving this girl when I'm sure there are other girls in the world, other children, other people in the world that are probably going through the same thing with these incubi coming in and giving them nightmares and trying to capture them? So why are we just focusing on this girl? It's a stupid thing in the back of my mind, just going like, why is this happening to these people? And I don't feel like I asked that question a lot with any of the other movies that I've owned or that I've watched. Like, why is this happening to these people? I'm like, why is this story being told? But that's how the story is presented at first. I'm asking myself these simple questions: who, what, where, when, how, and why. And I get the answers eventually to all of those, really, except for the why this is happening to these specific people. And that's a small nitpick on a movie that is tremendous, so I'm not bashing on the thing at all. It's just the only thing that's keeping it from a perfect score. If you love filmmaking, if you love cinema, if you love just seeing the artistic craft being created by a director and being created by artists, this movie is the movie for you. This is what can be the end product for people that literally have no money and are just there to tell a story. And that's what movies exist for. They're here to tell stories. And I freaking love it. I love this movie. This is tremendous. Everyone should see it. I'm sure many of you out there haven't even heard of it. Please, go out, find it, watch it. I'm going to give Ink 4.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
It's good. It's good.
Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part of my videos, where I pick which movie I'm going to be watching next. And as I stated at the beginning of this review, Autumn Blood did send in another PayPal donation and recommendation for The Frame, which is another film directed by this director. Wanted me to see the progress from how he goes from like super indie films to, you know, not so indie films. If it's anything like this movie, I'm super excited. I want to see this director's journey in developing his craft. Let's check it out. If any of you have recommendations of films that you want me to review on here, you can make a PayPal donation on the main page of my YouTube channel. Any size donation will do. Just attach your movie recommendation with your donation, and if I have access to it, I will watch it, review it, give you a shout out on the channel, and get my review of it published as quickly as I possibly can. So guys, if you've seen Ink, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time with my review of The Frame. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.